Welcome to class. Today we're going to teach the Krill King a few important lessons. Miss Kadie's an excellent animal rights activist who's working extremely hard to try and change the world for the better.
Blah 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 blah. Tits up and Kadie want this.
YouTube, let's check out YouTube.
Blah blah blah. New video. Blah 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 blah. From that vegan teacher. Blah blah blah. He was like, yeah, what's she got going on today? What kind of ridiculous, crazy thing is she gonna be talking about, right?
Please don't hurt him. He's on the kill floor of a slaughterhouse. He's scared and does not want to die. He tries to escape, but there's no way out. He never did anything wrong. No sentient being willingly walks towards death. He's pushed towards the kill floor with an electric prod. He deserved better. Why are you hurting him, Krill King? Why?
Oh, absolutely. Kadie likes to discuss such utterly absurd subjects such as not abusing and, needlessly taking the lives of innocent sentient beings. Completely ridiculous.
Oh, who is this person? Some sort of Superman coming to the rescue. How cool. And yeah, don't hurt animals. Don't hurt innocent sentient beings. Absolutely. Except for one little thing. You're not showing your face, so everybody's just gonna think you're some sort of a bot. Can't you just reveal yourself?
I mean, could you imagine somebody was talking about dogs in that context?
And stuff, like, obviously she likes to exaggerate the fuck out of the process, blah blah blah, to make it seem like it's something just way worse and more horrible than it is.
Don't eat anyone's arms, legs, wings, ribs, eggs, or buttholes.
If anybody watching this thinks that Kadie even vaguely exaggerates the ubiquitous process of the dairy industry, just watch this video. Lasts about 5 minutes.
That vegan teacher is right. Listen to her.
Stay vegan like Miss Kadie. You can do it. You can do it.
First, a cow must be made pregnant in order to lactate. So semen is extracted from a bull. You can take a guess at how exactly that semen is extracted. Definitely not weird at all. Once that semen is forcibly extracted, it is then used to forcibly inseminate a cow later on. When a human being is forcibly inseminated, what do we call that? Anyway, once the mother cow gives birth to a calf, that calf is separated either right at birth or shortly after birth, because otherwise, the calf will drink all the milk that we need to sell for money to humans. Keeping mothers with their children here just isn't profitable, so we have to separate them. Super ethical. If the calf is male, they're either sent off to be killed or tortured to become veal. Now back to the mother. After having this super humane process done to her over and over and over, once she is no longer producing milk at a cost-effective rate, she is sent off to be killed for beef. Imagine being part of this industry and trying to depict what you do as anything other than completely atrocious.
If you think there's any degree of equivocation, please just look at this guy's account. He's an Iowa dairy farmer. He's a pretty large-scale dairy farmer in the United States. If you think that she's being disingenuous or inaccurate in any way, just check out this guy's account, or literally any dairy farmer on TikTok.
I know that there's some factory farming. That's not great. I have to keep acknowledging that so you guys don't think that I'm like oblivious to it. I'm not. I'm just also aware that a lot of farms that handle cows and stuff are not what she's describing. Blah, blah, blah.
You're being incredibly intellectually dishonest. You're wording that in a very misleading way. You're saying many farms don't use those types of practices, but what you're not telling your impressionable subscribers is 99% of animals in the USA come from big factory farms. So these small mom and pop farms that you're referencing only actually have a tiny percentage of farmed animals.
Thank you, Superman, for pointing that out. I mean, the truth is that this guy eats animals and he wants to keep on eating them. He doesn't actually want to change. He doesn't actually care about the facts. Otherwise, he would have made it very clear that 99% of the animals that everybody eats come from factory farms.
Small farms, by the way, also sexually assault animals and utilize artificial insemination, by the way. 99% statistic is a US Department of Agriculture statistic, by the way. So if you think there's any degree of ambiguity in that one, take it up with your own government. So either you're being incredibly, incredibly dishonest, or you're far more ignorant than you believe you are. Neither would particularly shock me.
So yeah, I think you're onto something. This Krill King guy seems to think that this kind of behavior is normal, but it's actually very bizarre. I mean, Krill King is not a baby cow.
blah blah blah,
He's not a baby anymore,
blah blah blah,
so he doesn't need to drink breast milk. And he's not a cow,
blah blah blah.
so he definitely doesn't need cow's milk. So I wonder why he still does this. It's strange, isn't it? How the dairy industry has lied to him and he's bought those lies for all these years? I mean, surely he must know that everyone is switching over to...
Drink soy milk, oat milk, rice milk, almond milk. Don't steal milk from a cow. Be vegan, start right now. Follow that vegan teacher, she will show you how.
Miss Kadie is right. Animals are not ours to eat, wear, experiment on, or use for entertainment. Listen to That Vegan Teacher.
Be on the right side of history. Don't exploit, don't oppress, just be vegan.
I never in a million years pictured myself having an internet war with Grandma Skeletor, but here.
Yeah, this is just an ad hominem, a logical fallacy. The general rule in the philosophy sphere is when someone resorts to throwing these, you know they're losing. By the way, literally attacking the appearance of an elderly woman isn't the move you want to make, my friend. That just negatively communicates to people the strength of your character.
Check mark. Way to go. Excellent example of standing up to vegan-phobic bullies.
Thank you, Cal. Thank you, Superman, for pointing out that my looks, my age has nothing to do with what we're talking about here. I mean, I wouldn't attack the way that he's looking or the way that anybody looks. I mean, unless it was relevant to the argument, like unless you were actually talking about somebody who's unhealthy. But yeah, I do have a skeleton, but so does he. And I choose to look like this because I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be overweight. I want to stay slim because I believe from the research I've read that thin people, healthy people live longer.
If they handle cows in a horrible, inhumane way, they're not going to produce high quality milk. And we need high, like people want high quality.
No.
Need? Were you just about to say need? And then you stopped yourself, right? Because you realized you're not a baby cow. You're not a baby or a cow. You don't need to drink cow's milk at all. You caught yourself, right? And then you kind of stopped and you kind of shuffled around there.
We need like people want high quality.
No. Farmers have a huge demand for their product and they need to get it out in the most expedient way. It's economically impossible for them to focus on high quality product. You know, to anyone with half a clue what they're talking about, that there's bovine blood cells and pus in cow's milk. And your claim about people wanting high quality products has zero connection with reality. McDonald's, potentially the most frequented restaurant in the world, sells some of the lowest quality food. People don't give a shit about quality.
You mentioned the potential for foodborne illness because of them developing diseases that cause blood and stuff like that to show up in their milk. No.
Oh yes, zoonotic disease in animal agriculture definitely isn't a ubiquitous and extremely well discussed thing. Definitely not at all.
The point I'm trying to make here is that the farming industry, the dairy industry, it's like they always strawman it. They always pick the worst possible representation, and coming from.
Please stop using philosophical terminology like logical fallacies that you absolutely do not understand. A straw man is misrepresenting an opponent's argument in order to make it easier to argue against. Kadie claiming farms use certain practices is not misrepresenting an argument.
Check mark. Way to go. Excellent example of standing up to vegan-phobic bullies.
Cal is right. These are some excellent points. Way to go.
What you're referring to is a nut-picking fallacy. But, that being said, clearly, as we've already spotlighted earlier, the only one misrepresenting the truth with respect to farming is you.
So it's like, but they always pick the worst of the worst to make sure that they represent that, even though what they're going after is the entire thing. So of course that's how they're going to represent it, which is absolutely absurd. And I've talked about that many times.
You mean you regularly bullshit and use specific language to distort the truth and deceive people? You're a circumspectly disingenuous individual.
I don't understand people. I don't understand the entitlement of people.
Non-vegans are racist towards animals. Yes, you see a pig and you think that it's meant to be murdered for your dinner, but you see a dog and that would be disgusting if it was murdered for dinner. Why? Because they wear different skin. Speciesism is the root of all racism. There's no morally relevant difference between a cat, a dog, a cow, a pig, a chicken, a human. So end racism, end speciesism, and be vegan.
Blah, blah, blah. But we aren't fucking vegan.
So that's a very strange thing to say. Why are you saying that about vegans? You don't like the fact that they don't want you to hurt animals? You think that they are trying to force you to be vegan? Why on earth would you use that kind of language? Would you call somebody a fucking dog saver if they were trying to save dogs? I don't think so. Would you call somebody a fucking cat saver if they didn't want people to strangle cats? I don't think so. The only reason you're using that language is because you don't want to change. You're being completely disingenuous. You're actually a cruel person.
And like, I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna eat this chicken, I'm not gonna eat this egg because of XYZ moral bullshit.
I don't understand people. I don't understand the entitlement of people.
Moral bullshit.
It sounds like you're just an ethically bankrupt person. I mean, by your logic, you would have to say just like a murderer, rapist, pedophile. No problems with these people because morality is just completely bullshit, right?
What you guys don't understand is that this is the world that we have created based off the needs that nature has called upon us. It is necessary that we have meats in our diets to maintain healthy lives.
Nope. Would you like to show us some sort of paper or evidence to prove that claim?
Dance with me, baby. A vegan world is coming. A vegan world is coming soon. Dance with me, baby. A vegan world is coming. A vegan world is coming soon.
To maintain healthy lives, and of course, blah 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 supplements, blah 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 blah. That shit doesn't work for everybody. Shut the fuck up, okay?
Actually, it's not okay. It's not okay to tell people to shut up who are trying to save the lives of billions of innocent animals who never did a single thing wrong to anybody ever. Why on earth would you want them to shut up? Why aren't you on the right side of history instead of being part of so much cruelty?
Be on the right side of history. Don't exploit, don't oppress, just be vegan.
For the most part, the majority of humans on this planet eat a balanced diet that includes meats, right? And animal protein.
Okay, so first of all, that's an appeal to nature fallacy, equating what's necessary, good, or moral with what's natural. The consistency with that argument would just take you to some utterly absurd places. Rape, infanticide, murder, all of these things, natural. We observe them in nature. Don't think that's what you want to go with. Okay, so Nick's claim was, we need meat to survive. Okay, provide me with a scientific study that concluded this was the case. Because the most robust medical data we have shows not only are plant-based diets incredibly healthy, but they're actually superior for health. In fact, directly to the contrary of what you said, they have even better health outcomes than extremely healthy omnivorous diets in randomized controlled trials, which are the highest quality medical dietetic studies that we utilize. You also said, supplements don't work for everyone. Show me some scientific evidence that that's the case. And rest assured, I've got absolutely no interest in anecdotal bullshit. Empirical claims require empirical evidence. As Hitchens' razor, a basic metric of epistemology, states, what can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. So ultimately, at this point in time, we're going to have to dismiss absolutely everything that you've said in your video, as you've given not a shred of fucking evidence.
What can be asserted without evidence can also be dismissed without evidence. Way to go, Superman.
Source our meat the most humane we can.
So, find the most humane way to kill something, which is an action that can't be done humanely. So, find the most humane way to be inhumane. You know, I watched Vegan Gains just fucking intellectually urinate all over you. You contradicted yourself numerous times in that debate. With this propensity for rational thought, if this is the way that you formulate ideas, it really doesn't surprise me.
You guys talk about how vegan, vegetarian farming, whatever, is more sustainable and it's less harmful to the environment and it's less harmful to animals.
Oh, it's fucking a million times more sustainable. It's significantly better for the environment. That's an unequivocal truth. But you don't give a fuck about that.
I don't know if you know this, but there's some agriculture and a lot of it out there that requires the deaths of millions of animals and insects and things of that nature to keep running. You have to cut down trees, you gotta rehome squirrels, you gotta rehome bees, you gotta rehome tons and tons and tons of creatures. And then not to mention the pesticides that get used in that corn that you just blah, 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 blah.
And here's yet another paradigm of you tenaciously offering opinions on subjects you have zero clue about. Most crops are actually fed to livestock. So if you did care about all those animals dying in crop deaths, you don't, but if you did, ironically, this would be a much stronger argument to actually be vegan. And yeah, no shit, Sherlock, animals die for food. You say this so confidently as if it's not the most widely known fact in veganism, but if your critique is our way isn't perfect, that's just a nirvana fallacy. That's a nothing critique. And well done, Captain Obvious, there is no such thing as perfection.
See you in every corner of my mind.
There are ways of growing vast amounts of food with no animal deaths. So, once again, this would be a more potent, resonant argument in favour of veganism. And the further irony of you bringing up deforestation when 92% of deforestation is because of animal agriculture, i.e. your fucking diet.
It's really important for a lot of us to put our health first. Right. Which will require the majority of people to have animal products in their diet.
If you did indeed care about your health, you would just be vegan, as plant-based diets have the best health outcomes in clinical study. But that being said, I'm not the one who's made the claim.
And besides that, what about the health of the animals?
The egg industry is just a cycle of misery. They lie to you endlessly. Don't buy eggs, walk away. Go to egg-truth.com today.
Don't fall into the trap of not caring about animals. You were born vegan. You never wanted to hurt them.
It's all part of the circle of life. Animals eat other animals, and it keeps populations, and it keeps the environments and ecosystems under control. It's all part of the circle of life.
Except that all of these animals you're talking about in this so-called ecosystem, the pigs, the chickens, the cows, the turkeys, the lambs, they're all separated from that. They are forced to exist by us. They're not out there making love in the wild. They're separate. They're on factory farms, suffering greatly. If all of them peacefully died in their sleep, the entire planet would do better, because animal agriculture is terrible for the environment, and the amount of suffering that they endure because of people like you is horrific.
Miss Kadie is right. You should listen to her. Listen to her.
Without that delicate balance, everything falls apart.
First of all, the circle of life is not a scientific concept. It's a Disney song about a cartoon monkey singing about a baby lion. Also, it's a logical fallacy. Again, appeal to nature. Just because something is natural doesn't make it good or moral. Or else you would just have to say that like rape, infanticide, all completely good because we see them in nature.
Rape? Infanticide? Murder? No, I agree with you, Superman. I don't want to go with those things. I think those should be left in the past. We should move forward towards a more progressive and kind society, a fair society.
Consuming deadly nightshade, anthrax, also good because they're natural. And then things like surgery, medications, using mobile phones, all really bad, you know, because they're not natural. And the other claim about, you know, it all being part of the natural order. Farming animals, literally sexually assaulting animals, breeding them into existence with the sole purpose of sending them to a completely unnatural slaughterhouse to be bolt gunned in the head and then be hung up by their hind legs and have their throat slashed, or, you know, like lowering pigs into CO2 gas chambers. Definitely not the natural order of things. So what the fuck are you even talking about?
Being vegan is easy when you don't think about yourself. Being vegan is easy when you think about someone else. The victim.
Some people can get away on a vegan diet. That's just not everybody. I've already explained why many times why that's not the case.
Nope. Actually, you haven't. You keep saying that you have, but you never have. And we have given you plenty of evidence to the contrary. So why don't you just admit it? You're too afraid to change. But honestly, look at me. Do you think I'm stronger than you? Do you think I'm smarter than you? Why is it that I can be vegan and 100% healthy, and you don't think that you can? What is it?
And this information is also backed by science. It's just a fact.
No, you haven't explained at all. You've made many, many claims and given zero evidence of those claims. I'm not sure if you understand the distinction between making a claim and then giving evidence of a claim. These are two completely divorced concepts. You may want to investigate that. And you said that we need meat to be healthy. So give me a source.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're ever going to see any evidence. In fact, we know we won't. And every scientist tells us that veganism is extremely healthy as long as you don't eat a bunch of French fries only and drink Coke. Veganism is easy for people who care. It's only difficult for selfish people. And we know what category this guy fits into, unfortunately.
So give me one study that concluded that we need meat to be healthy. Please, no, seriously. And please get over the gigantic, monumental hurdle that is healthy plant-based dieters have the best health outcomes in clinical studies. You know, in the Adventist Health Study 2, the EPIC study, the UK Biobank study, the Nurses Health Study, the Health Professional Follow-Up study, the ENRICA study, the Atherosclerotic Risk and Community study. How do you account for healthy plant-based dieters absolutely destroying you?
Use this video to try to paint me as some kind of evil monster that just approves of all these horrible, heinous things.
You? An evil monster? Well, what do monsters do? They hurt others when they don't have to. They're deliberately cruel. They perhaps encourage other people to be cruel as well. Yeah, I think you would maybe go in that category. Yeah. You know, you could just be vegan, because you might realize one day that maybe hurting others just feels wrong, but you don't seem to be at that stage yet. But, you know, keep trying.
Miss Kadie is right. Just be vegan.
I don't understand people. I don't understand the entitlement of people.
Go vegan! Go! Go!
Paint me as some kind of evil monster.
You literally admitted that you hurt animals.
Nobody else, nobody else,
Stop hurting animals. Stop hurting animals.
nobody else, nobody else.
That just approves of all these horrible, heinous things.
Okay, so you don't pay for animals to be exploited?
You do.
And speciesism, and speciesism, and speciesism, be kind to the animals. And vegan phobia, and vegan phobia, and vegan phobia, be kind to the activists. Dance if you're vegan, hands up if you're vegan. Think you can't do it? Try it, you can. Yeah.
So you don't pay for animals to be exploited, brutally sexually assaulted, just like brutally murdered on a mass scale in a house of horrors?
You literally just admitted that you do.
All for the purpose of your taste pleasure, and you don't come on a social media platform and just blithely misrepresent the truth of what actually happens, further perpetuating the actual action happening?
Nobody else.
How is this a misrepresentation on Kadie's part? Please do explain. Miss Kadie's actually a very kind, compassionate person who cares a great deal about animals, and it's really sad that you just don't.
Miss Kadie is right. Just be vegan.
I wouldn't want to see a world where all carnivores have to die, because otherwise they were just going to hurt all the other animals. Well, unfortunately, for all the animals that we know and love today to continue to exist, they have to continue doing what they do to survive. So that means lions gotta continue to eat gazelles.
What does that have to do with what I'm talking about? I'm talking about you who lives near a grocery store. You buying lentils, beans, rice, you know, every single colored fruit and vegetable in the store, pasta, bread, all of it, you know? I'm not sure what you're talking about right now. It seems to me like this is some sort of a straw man argument. You're just going back to exaggerate things that I never said. I'm talking about you being vegan today.
See you in every corner of my mind.
Could you just stop sending me videos of you singing, please?
See you in every corner of my mind.
Tigers gotta continue to eat. I don't know what the hell tigers eat in the wild. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
Now, this is very, very ironic of you, because this actually is a straw man. Please tell me at any point in any of Kadie's videos where specifically she says that she wants all predators just to like starve to death. Because if not, you've just completely straw manned her argument.
All perish or locked away in animal jail. And I don't think that's really having the well-being of animals at heart. So you guys are just a bunch of phonies, a bunch of liars, a bunch of hypocrites.
The only hypocrite here is you. The only hypocrite here is you.
That just have some sort of God complex where you really want to hold this moral high ground above everybody else, so you can be like, I'm better than you, I'm better than you, I'm better than you.
The only one who thinks they're superior is you, because you treat animals like objects. You pay people to rape, torture, and murder them. We try to save them.
Miss Kadie is right. Just be vegan.
Call vegan. This is an animal who didn't want to die. This is vegan food, you should give it a try. This was someone's baby that should make you cry. This is vegan food, it should make you smile. It's something you should buy.
There's no chance that you just called anybody a liar. That is fucking hilarious. Anyway, yeah, so this is yet another logical fallacy. It's called the appeal to motive fallacy. Instead of engaging with someone's argument, instead you argue what you perceive their motive to be. So anyway, to summarize, you cannot engage in a single thing without engaging in a logical fallacy. You make a lot of incredibly temerarious claims with no evidence of your claims. You discuss subjects that you've got zero understanding of, and you routinely distort the truth in order to deceive people and push a biased narrative. So yeah, I saw you debate vegan gains, you got utterly destroyed, but look, if you want to have a latter debate about any of the above, happy to oblige. Just make a response video and accept, and we'll set up a time on YouTube or on TikTok or on Discord or whatever you like. I don't think that you actually are interested in investigating the truth value of any propositions, but yeah, the offer still stands.
To all of you who are kinder than Curl King, who are as smart as this anonymous Superman is, once you watch the documentary Dominion, you'll understand why we're here on social media. We actually do care about the animals. We just don't want them to suffer. We wish that somebody had told us about what's going on years ago. So go ahead and watch it. And let me know in the comments what you think.
We say we love animals, yet we hurt them in every way imaginable. We shoot them, we beat them, we skin them, we wear them, we dominate them, we mutilate them, we cut off their skin, we betray them, we choke them, we force feed them, we burn them, we bite and swallow them, we fire guns at them, though they've committed no crimes. We cut off their heads, we kidnap them and trample on their rights. We destroy rainforests to feed them, just so we can eat them. We experiment on them, we spray poisons on them, we radiate them. And all of this karma comes back to us, until we declare, I'll be vegan from now on. If you find value in my work, subscribe and press the notification bell and help me get the animals out of hell. Thank you.